Green card holders preparing for international travel are seeing a wave of new trends at airports across the United States. And understanding these changes can make your return far smoother and less stressful. As more travelers move through busy airports, Customs and Border Protection officers are taking a closer look at several key factors that indicate whether a permanent resident maintains genuine ties to the United States and continues to treat the country as the center of their life. One of the biggest new trends involves questions about proof of ties to the United States, something that green card holders often overlook. Your status allows you to travel freely, but it does not grant unlimited freedom to live abroad indefinitely, and CBP officers are increasingly asking for simple documentation that proves you truly reside in America. Many travelers expect that their green card is enough, yet more officers now request additional proof such as a valid U. driver's license, bank statements, a lease or mortgage, or recent bills with a U.S. home address. Even travelers who leave for just 2 or 3 months have reported additional questioning, especially when officers want reassurance that their absence was temporary. A single bill, a screenshot of a bank account, or a copy of a lease can save hours of delay, and keeping these items in your carry-on rather than in checked bags can prevent the stressful situation of having nothing to show during secondary inspection. The second major trend is a deeper review of travel history, something many green card holders do not realize is increasingly scrutinized. While permanent residents are allowed to travel frequently and stay abroad for multiple weeks or months at a time, CBP officers are now more consistently asking travelers to explain their trips, especially if the pattern involves frequent international travel. Officers may ask where you went, how long you stayed, and what the purpose of the trip was, mainly to confirm that the majority of your life is still anchored in the United States. Even if your travels are legitimate for business, medical reasons, or family needs, repeated overseas trips can look unusual without clear explanations, so having documents that show your U.S. ties such as proof of employment, tax filings, or a property document can prevent long delays. The third trend involves green card holders returning with re-entry permits. For years, many believed that a re-entry permit guaranteed hassle-free travel for up to 2 years abroad, but CBP officers are now more carefully questioning those returning on these permits. When you applied for the re-entry permit, you provided a reason for your extended stay outside the country, and officers at the airport may compare that original reason with the explanation you give upon your return. If the stories do not match, or you cannot show updated evidence supporting your long stay abroad, such as medical paperwork, work assignments, or family care responsibilities, you may be sent to secondary inspection. Although the re-entry permit protects your green card from being considered abandoned, it does not prevent CBP from asking detailed questions, and they can still delay your entry if they feel the circumstances are unclear. To avoid this, travelers returning with re-entry permits should carry documentation that aligns with the reason submitted in the original application. The fourth trend involves specific red flags that almost guarantee additional questioning upon arrival, and these red flags are often overlooked. One major red flag is an expired U.S. driver's license. CBP officers routinely check identification, and an expired license signals that a traveler may not have truly lived in the United States recently. Another red flag is a lack of an active U.S. bank account. Officers may view the absence of financial ties as a sign that a permanent resident no longer maintains a meaningful presence in the country. A third red flag is the absence of recent work history or any documentation that explains why you are not currently employed in the U.S. Even green card holders residing temporarily abroad with a re-entry permit should carry paperwork from employers, tax documents, or statements explaining their temporary leave from work. A final red flag involves green card holders who no longer have close family in the United States, which can raise questions about their motivation to continue living here. When these red flags combine, such as no bank account, no driver's license, and long trips abroad, the chances of lengthy questioning increase dramatically. To avoid problems, green card holders should maintain active financial accounts, keep identification up to date, and carry simple documents that demonstrate ongoing connections to the country. The fifth, and often overlooked trend, is the growing coordination between immigration authorities and the Internal Revenue Service. CBP officers are increasingly aware when green card holders do not file U.S. taxes or incorrectly file as non-residents, which can create severe issues at the border. A permanent resident is expected to file U.S. tax returns regardless of where income is earned, and failing to file can be treated as a sign that someone has abandoned their lawful permanent residence. Filing as a non-resident alien is an even bigger issue, as it directly contradicts the responsibilities tied to holding a green card. Because tax records can now be flagged during travel, officers may question why taxes were not filed, whether income is primarily earned overseas, or whether the traveler still intends to reside in the United States. To avoid any problems, permanent residents should file tax returns every year, consult qualified tax professionals, and carry a recent tax document if they are traveling after tax season. These emerging trends highlight why green card holders should remain prepared, organized, and proactive when traveling internationally. Simple documents like a utility bill, a driver's license, a bank statement, a tax return, or a proof of employment can save hours at the airport. Having consistent explanations for travel, keeping important records up to date, and ensuring that taxes are filed properly all help guarantee smooth re-entry. As travel increases and border reviews become more detailed, green card holders who understand these trends can return to the United States confidently, without unnecessary stress or delays, and enjoy the freedom and stability that permanent residency provides.